All right, so good morning and welcome to the deep stretch class where we always start out with feet stretches, and using a half dome is really the most ideal thing to use for this exercise. If you don't have a half dome, you can substitute with a densely rolled blanket or an extra yoga mat, but even those, they just don't do the same thing because they squish out so much. So with your half dome in front of you, take your right foot all the way over to the left side of your dome and have the ball of your foot nicely planted on the dome. Spread your toes apart. The arch of your foot is not squishing out on the dome. It's hanging out in the air, and the heel is planted. And then go ahead and rearrange your other leg. Start out, especially if these are brand new for you, start out with your other foot just directly across from your right foot. And then at that point, come into the centering piece, whatever it takes you to drop into your body with sensation and awareness, and deep breathing. So breathe in a way that stretches your ribs. Feel for expanding your ribs in all directions. Some people, when they're learning to expand their breath in that way, it can be really useful to give this kind of tactile feedback, to grab a strap and wrap it around the ribs. And in doing that, you feel that capacity of your ribs. Like it was probably 5 to 6 inches of difference there for me. Feel for, so you've got breath on board, feel for pressing through your feet, pressing through the back of the right knee, and then work with your pelvis by curling your tailbone under and drawing your pubic bone towards your belly button. Feel for drawing up what we call Mula Bandha from the ground up, or the zip up. It's this action of drawing up through the pelvic floor, up under the heart, and through the top of your head. Get a couple more breaths and feel into the sole of your foot, around the ankle and the lower leg. And if sensation is soft, like you're not getting a lot, it's okay. Just keep attempting to feel. And then after you did that work, connecting with breath, connecting with sensation, connecting with your posture, then step the left foot forward. It can go in front of the right foot, or maybe it's not very far in front of the right foot, depending on what kind of mobility you have in the ankle. Then once again, curl tailbone under, create the zip up through the central channel of your torso. Relax your shoulders down and take a few rounds of deep breath that move your ribs. Feel for spreading the toes on both feet. And taking a moment of recognition for your feet, for all that they've done for you throughout your life, and realizing that sometimes shoes are not doing the best thing for our feet in terms of keeping them strong and agile and able to support us. So we have to do a little work to keep the feet healthy, right? And then come out of that side And maybe you want to roll your ankle like I do because of the blood flow thing. Bring your left foot all the way over to the right side of the dome. Place the ball of the foot onto the dome. The arch is free from the dome. Spread the toes and then align your right foot across from left. Press through the back of your knee. Curl tailbone under and lengthen through the top of your head. Taking a few rounds of deep breath. And linking your attention with the sensations in the foot and the lower leg. And maybe you're feeling it at the back of the knee and through the hamstring, back of the upper leg. That could be possible too. I am on this side particularly. So breath, taking advantage of the opportunity to bring in that full Ujjai breath that comes in through the nose, wraps over the brain, weaves its way down to the spine, all the way to the base of the spine, and then weaves its way up the spine, over the brain, and out your nose. If there's room, you can step the right foot forward a little bit more and then realign with the body actions, the alignment pieces that create more of a pull on the muscles. So pressing through the back of the knee, arranging your pelvis, arranging your heart and head upward. All right, let's come out of that. Maybe roll the ankle a bit. And we'll stretch the top of the foot. If balance is challenging for you in this, make sure you hold on to something so you're not trying to work with balance when the focus is on the foot stretch. So standing on right leg, bring the left hip into extension. So we're bringing the femur bone behind the torso. Come on to the top of your toenails, the top of your toes, the top of your foot, and then arranging your legs and your pelvis in a way where you feel square, whatever that is for you. Honestly, alignment is a study of self. And then curling tailbone under, lengthening through the torso, rolling your shoulder blades down towards gravity, softening the arms. And this is a good time to check in with head. You can draw the chin back and align your head over top of your heart. And then take a few rounds of breath, deep breath that stretches and spreads the ribs, and feeling into what's going on at the top of the foot, the ankle, the front of the shin, the muscles along the shin. And then bring in the rainbow move where you roll weight out to, now not a lot of weight, we're rolling the foot out to the pinky side edge of the foot and those bones there. So I'm also rolling the knee in and then come back and do that a couple times mindfully, feeling for the way that all those little bones move independently of one another or not. and exploring the tendons. So we have tendons at the top of the toes that draw our toes up. All right, and come out of that. So again, a foot that balances us well, all those little bones move individually, independently of one another. The muscles support them in doing that. We'll go into the same stretch with the right leg. Bring the hip into extension, so leg moves behind you, come onto the top of your toenails, and then arrange your left leg in a way that you feel balanced over your 2 feet. Begin to create the alignment in the torso, lengthen the tailbone down, telescope through the ribs, soften your shoulders, draw your head back. So create your posture, and then breathe in a way that spreads your ribs. Moving into the rainbow arc, rolling out to the outside edge of the foot, the pinky side edge of the foot, feeling into the musculature there, and back towards the toe, the big toe, and across, and just acknowledging your foot anatomy, your foot structure as well, right? Like we have structural patterns that have been in our body since we were children. And then let that go. All right, so there's our feet stretches and our centering. For our breath work today, we'll practice Veloma breathing. Come to lying on your back and place your knees in Badakanasana, and you might want to have blocks to prop your legs up so that your knees don't open too wide into gravity. And what is too wide? Well, it would be like, say you didn't support that and you got up and then something just felt a little like, ooh, I kind of overstretched, or ooh, that was a little too much. And so this takes time, right? It takes time to know the body and discern and be able to trust that we can make choices that are best for our body, and learn from the times when we make choices and we know it wasn't best for our body. So lying back in Badakanasana means lying on your back, and the soles of your feet are together. They're drawing in towards your torso, and the knees are opening up out into gravity. And this is where you can take the blocks and just lightly support the legs. So yes, they're opening, but there's some support under them. Now in Veloma breathing, oh, and I made a little adjustment. So I want to talk about that because as I'm lying here, I have a pretty big curve in my low back. That's where my back likes to bend. So I'm going to take and just kind of curl tailbone under. So I flatten that curve out a bit and then adjust my blocks. So now it feels like relief on my low back, honestly, to flatten out that curve and adjust so my legs aren't opening as much. And then I'm arranging my weight on my upper back as well, so that I come into a lying down posture that feels like right alignment right now. And then in Veloma breathing, there's 3 sections in your torso, or we are dividing it into 3 sections: your belly, the lower part of the rib cage, or the what's known as the solar plexus band, and then above the heart and into the collarbones, chest. So we've got belly and low back, solar plexus band all the way around, and chest. And we'll fill with breath in the different sections. When we inhale, we'll fill belly first, then the solar plexus band, then the chest. When we exhale, we'll exhale through the chest first. We'll exhale at the middle, and then we'll exhale at the bottom and start again, right? So it's this long, smooth breath filling in those three sections. So here we go. Go ahead and just take a regular breath. If you've started already, keep going. And then drawing breath in, filling up the belly and low back, filling up midsection, and filling up chest. Exhale chest. Exhale midsection. Exhale belly. Inhale belly. Inhale solar plexus band. Inhale chest. Exhale chest. Exhale mid. Exhale belly. Now keep that up. You time it in your way. Go through several more rounds. I want to say that Ujjai breath, the Ujjai breathing technique works really well for this, for me to, in my body, to create a back pressure and really let me expand breath. You don't have to do it with Ujjai. And if you're wondering, what is Ujjai? There is a video in the members hub that breaks Ujjai breathing down really specifically. And that is in the breathwork section. Feel for nourishing your brain with your inhale. And softening towards gravity on your exhale. All right, we'll begin to make our way out of this breathing exercise, transitioning out by taking a couple rounds of deep breath that fill all three sections at once. And if you ever do this one on your own, really calming breath, like for anyone who has problems sleeping at night, this would be such a good thing to add into an evening ritual. Or if you just want deeper sleep. And now to come out, place your hands on the outsides of your legs so that you can help your legs together. And then take one of your blocks and place it in between your thighs. With your knees bent, make your feet active. Interlace your fingers together, bring them behind the back of your skull and neck, reach your elbows up toward the sky. So we'll have a few rounds of abs with a block here with feet on the ground. So take an inhale. Top of your inhale, hold your breath, squeeze the block, press your low back into the ground, and on exhale, lift head and shoulders off of the mat, reach your elbows toward the sky, curl tailbone up, draw belly down. Inhale, lay your head down. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, press your back into the ground, and exhale, lift up, reach your elbows skyward, draw belly down. Inhale, lay your head down. Hold your breath, squeeze the block, press your back into the ground. Exhale, lift up, reach elbows skyward, feel into belly, draw belly down. Inhale, lay your head down. Hold your breath, squeeze the block, press your back into the ground. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lay your head down. Couple rounds of twisting abs with a block. Top of inhale, hold your breath, squeeze the block, press your back into the ground. Exhale, lift up and reach your elbows over towards the left knee. It's like towards the left knee and up towards the sky. Draw belly down. Inhale, come to center, leave head and shoulders lifted. Hold your breath, squeeze the block, press your back into the ground, and exhale, reach elbows beyond the right knee and up, lifting skyward. You can hear the work. Inhale, come to center, leave head and shoulders lifted, so we're not going down all the way. Top of inhale, hold the breath, squeeze the block. Press your back into the ground. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep reaching elbows up. Activate those side abdominal muscles. Inhale, come to center. Head and shoulders come down a little bit. Hold your breath. Squeeze the block. Press your back into the ground. And exhale, twist to the right. Reach up, especially through the right elbow. Draw belly down. Inhale to center. Lay your head down. Bring the block out and roll over to your belly. And come up into a Sphinx posture. So in your Sphinx, your elbows are under your shoulders, supporting you. And you can bring structure into the shoulders, no sense in scrunching down into the shoulders. So press them down. And then take a couple breaths, pulling your heart forward, drawing shoulder blades down the back. And pick up your pelvis a little bit, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, and keep the front of your belly contracting to create that pelvic tilt while you draw your heart forward. Make your feet active and reach through your toes. Take a few rounds of breath here. This is not the only way to do Sphinx, this particular alignment. It's just one way. And then go ahead and lower down and stack your hands on top of one another under your chin and lower your head down so that it's resting on your hands. And then from that place, legs are active, they're both reaching back. Pick up your right leg, keep the knee straight and keep lifting the right leg, contracting the back body muscles, the glute, the hamstring, and then go ahead and flex the foot and reach the heel up. And feel for keeping the right hip down, but lifting the leg. Take a couple breaths. and then lower the leg down. Now let's go to left leg. So flex the foot, lift the leg, keep the left hip down, but reaching the leg up. So you're activating the glute muscle, you're activating hamstring, reach through the knee. And then go ahead and lower that down. Back to right leg. Keep the right hip on the ground, lift right leg off of the ground. Lower right leg and switch to left. Lower that down. Bring your hands under your shoulders and press yourself back to a child's pose. Bring your toes together and your knees wide. Reach your arms out in front and breathe into your low back. All right, go ahead and come up and bring yourself to lying on your back. And have a strap nearby. And if you don't have a yoga strap yet, you can use a belt or a scarf. Once you're lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Notice how this position seems obvious, but I'm stating the obvious here, is similar to child's pose, right? The pose we were just in, except we have our knees hugging in. You could also bring your knees wide and hug them in. And notice how knees wide is different than knees together. Keep hugging the right knee in, reach the left leg out, and make your left leg active by flexing the toes back and reaching through the arch. Circle your right ankle. Make big circles and intentionally feel into what you're noticing in the ankle, right? So we can mindlessly rotate the ankle. I am inviting you to mindfully rotate your ankle. And then in the other direction, maybe I was just noticing, and speaking of mindfulness, the muscles of my upper shin under my hands contracting as I roll the ankle. Keep hugging the knee in, but let go of it. Bring your arms out to the side. Take an inhale. And on exhale, rolling over to the left side, and the knee comes towards the ground. The right shoulder will, for most bodies, is going to come off of the ground. Now, if the left knee doesn't reach the ground, you could put a bolster or a block under it to stabilize. Keep reaching through left leg still active. Reach through the arch, through the back of the knee. Take a breath or two that opens your heart up towards the sky. On exhale, softening the left shoulder towards the ground. Breathe in a way that spreads your ribs. Exhale, empty out. And then bring your left hand and wrap it around the lower rib cage and feel, have a grip, hug your rib cage and side body right there. And then breathe in a way where you feel your ribs move up against your hand. And a few more breaths here. Maybe if you had the block or the bolster there, maybe you want to take it out, and the knee might even go all the way to the ground at this point. When you come up, use an inhale to bring the knee up. On exhale, straighten the right leg out onto the ground. Hug your left knee into your chest, circle the ankle. Feel into what you're noticing. So get into the sensations. Notice if it's pleasing or not so pleasing or neutral. Rotate in both directions. Maybe you don't want, maybe sometimes it is neutral, or just noticing that about ourselves. Like, I'm not really interested in pleasing, or I'm not really interested in discomfort. I don't really want to feel anything or name it. And like, if that's true for you, let that be part of your experience too. And then keep the hugging in the knee, draw the knee in towards the chest. Take a deep breath. And on exhale, bringing the knee across the body, and maybe you put a block under the knee, and the left shoulder is lifted. And for some people, it'll be way lifted, and it might even be more comfortable to reach the left arm up overhead to access this stretch. No matter what, though, when you inhale, open chest toward the sky. When you exhale, consider softening the shoulder and the knee towards the ground, right? So that's just the dual action of the pose. That's just what the pose is about, that knees going toward the ground, shoulders going to the ground, but recognizing that it doesn't mean they both have to be on the ground. All right, and then a few more breaths. So maybe you want to move the block. And when you come out of this, come up on an inhale, knee draws towards the chest, and exhale, soften the legs out onto the ground. Maybe place a couple hands on your belly and take a few deep breaths. And then we'll stretch the back of the leg with the assistance of a strap. Bring both of your legs into a bend, so knees bent, feet on the ground. Pick up the right leg and place a strap over the ball of the right foot. For starters, have your arms long and straight, reaching all the way up towards the leg. If you cannot straighten the knee in this, that's okay. You can have a bent knee and keep the knee over the hip and totally work with the posture from this place. So wherever your range of motion is, foot is active. If you do have a lot of openness in the back body here, press through the back of the knee. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and take a few deep breaths. Now, once you're connected in feeling, you're paying attention, you're mindful, you're connected with breath, then go ahead and straighten out the left leg on the ground. It's an active left leg. Foot is flexing back. Reach through the arch. Breathe in a way that stretches your ribs. And then bring both sides of the strap into the right hand. Bring your left hand out from your body. I like palm down. It reminds me to be grounded. I feel stable, connecting the hand to the earth. And then go ahead and open your right leg out to the side. And sometimes, like what is true for me right now, the leg, you might end up with your foot on a wall. Now, this is interesting because it gives a different kind of support in the stretch. You can end up using the wall as a prop. Now, don't if you're here already, don't run for the wall. Just stay with what you're doing. But sometime maybe give the stretch a go with the wall and feel into how you can get it to work for you as a prop. So big full breath, connecting in feeling with where this pose is getting into your body. So study your anatomy, study your structure through the posture. All right, and then to come out of this, make sure you bend the knee a little bit and come up on an inhale. And take the strap off of the leg, bend the knee, straighten the leg on the ground, maybe shimmy shake the hips a bit, take a couple breaths, and we'll go to the other side. So start with both legs bent, feet on the ground. Reach left leg up, place the strap over the ball of the foot, reach through the back of the heel, reach through the back of the knee, and begin to connect in feeling to this leg. Bring your breath into it, stay connected to breath, stay fascinated with breath, or cultivate fascination with breath. And after a few deep breaths, go ahead and straighten your right leg out. Reach through an active right leg, flex the foot back, reach through the arch. And then bringing both sides of the strap into the left hand, right hand out, right arm out from the body. I like palm down, taking a full breath. And then opening the leg out to the side. Keep reaching through left leg, keep reaching through right leg. Ground the back of right hip towards the earth and breathe in a way that helps you feel into your structure. Notice the sensation that this posture lights up for you. Trace the shape of the sensation with your awareness and imagine your breath could go there too. So we'll come out, Put a bend in the knee. Use an inhale to bring the leg up. Release the strap, bend the knee, straighten the leg out onto the ground. Shimmy the hips a little bit, maybe windshield wiper the feet. Open the mouth wide, noticing if you have any jaw tension. Stretch the jaw open. Pause here for a moment. I'll invite you into a body scan where you run your awareness from the top of your head down through your body, feeling into brain and eyes, the inside of the mouth, of the throat. Keep moving down through the shoulders and heart and arms, through the belly and internal organs, through the reproductive system, through the colon and the genitals, through your legs at the bone and tissue level, scanning through the knees, the lower legs, the ankles, and the feet. And go ahead, bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. And I'm just talking you up and out of this. If anybody wants to stay longer, you're welcome to. So maybe on with your knees hugging in, you're rocking back and forth a little bit in a way that feels good. And then rolling yourself over to one side, pausing, relaxing your belly. And then using your hands to press yourself up, leave your neck relaxed, hanging your head. Come up to seated upright. And take a moment or two here to feel into this posture, your upright posture, either with your hands on your lap or your hands on your body or your palms together in the center of your chest. And I want to invite you into a gentle bow. It can be more internal than external if you like, but feeling the posture of a bow and taking a breath in respect to this moment. If that's real for you, if you want to have a bow of respect to this moment. And then go ahead and finishing up. So thank you for being here this morning, for taking some time for the deep stretch work, which is different than what we do in the other classes. And we all just brought our nervous system down. And and that's a nice thing. So hopefully as you step into your day, the naturally cortisol levels are going to rise and we're going to get all fired up for doing the things we need to do. But we've also taken care and come down. So have a great day.
Thank you.